Welcome to the asana school at Purple Valley, or whatever we call it these days. Today we're going to look at Baddha Konasana. So you can see Rachel here is in Baddha Konasana. There's a gap between the knees and the floor. That's perfectly normal. So we start off, well, I want you to start off sitting, but you need to come up against the wall and you have the head touching the wall. You can move the arms, the shoulders back, so this comes back, so the shoulder blades touch the wall. And most important is that you get the sacrum, this region here, to be on the wall. The lumbar goes away from the wall slightly, so you're not just collapsing and leaning on the wall. Okay, so we start like this for a minute or so. Okay, Rachel's already been here for a minute. Meanwhile, you can keep watching and now observe. So you take your feet out from that position. We take 2 foam blocks, or you can use a pad of any sort. Okay, and now we do exactly the same thing. So the soles of the feet come together. And then the most important thing when you're doing this at home is that you slide this in and then you can catch a hold of the feet or the ankles, just like Rachel's doing here. Now, when you slide in at home, what you'll often find is sometimes the sacrum, it comes away from the wall, the buttocks come away from the wall, so do slide back in like Rachel's done here. Now we wait again for a couple of minutes. Some of you can be more relaxed with the arms, some of you will need to hold the feet, just like Rachel's doing here. And again, we wait. You can do a minute, 2 minutes. Allow the breath to be relaxed. There's no need to create any deliberate action of squeezing the muscles around the legs, the buttocks. You just relax, particularly the groins relax. Okay, so that'll do. And now we're going to bring the brick. So the brick can go in 2 positions like this, like this. We start with the thin method. Okay, so again, we slide the feet right in. Just check once again that you haven't slid away from the wall, and then we wait. So it will be a bit like watching paint dry, but observe your breathing. Obviously in this position, the thighs roll out, the calf muscles, the shin rolls forward, so there's that outer rotation on both legs, but it'll feel like the calf, the shin rolls forward, the thigh rolls back. That creates a lot of space here at the knee. You could do this with support here, but you don't really need to. Most people at this point will find the intensification is here in the groins. Hopefully there's no pressure in the knee whatsoever. If there is pressure in the knee, you just come out and you go to the previous stage. Okay, then final stage, so come out again. When you're doing this last part, it's kind of really tricky, so sometimes you have to pull yourself in, or sometimes I find myself actually lifting up my bottom off the floor and then sliding back down again. And now again we wait. So this is the most intense stage, that's the good news. It won't get more intense than this. Keep the breathing calm. If you're practicing at home, obviously you can practice along with the video, but you can use a timer as well. You can spend 3 minutes, 5 minutes in the pose. So just to reiterate, we had the various stages. We started flat on the floor. Second, Rachel went to the foam. Okay. Third, brick was narrow. Fourth, this last stage, brick is wide. Okay, so now come out. And then we repeat the first stage. Slide right in. So this is the part where you need to play compare and contrast. So obviously we can see there's a difference. This is getting closer to the ground now. And then for the final part, just start to come forward. For those of you who come forward easily, like Rachel, that's fine. And actually for Rachel, what I'll do now is raise your head, put the forehead on the brick, because you've got the brick handy. That creates a nicer line here. And then we relax and rest. Obviously, we can also, at this point, still use, just put that one in with the left side. You can actually use support here for the knees. Okay. If you're going to hold these poses for longer, it's great to have support. Paradoxically, when there's support here, it actually lets this part relax. A lot of you sort of look at people like myself who making the pose look quite straightforward, but you see my shin, my thigh is supported on the ground. So the ground is supporting me. So for those of you who are up a little bit, the support will really help this relax. Okay. So actually it often opens more when you use the support. Okay, so when you're doing this at home, really your job is to play compare and contrast. You start in that first position that Rachel was in, you feel where you are, you feel the spaciousness in the hip joints, and now by the time you end up in this last stage, you see whether or not those stages have created space in the hip joints. In my experience and the students who I've been working with find this is a really useful way for opening the hips. Okay, and come back up. And we'll finish there, so hopefully you'll find that useful.